Hi there. My name is Jolie BigEagle-Kequahtooway, and my spirit name is Zitkana-Howashte, which means morning bird with good voice. And I want to share some stories today with you about my love of buffalo. Some people will say bison, how you say in Cree, Pasqua Mustus. In my Nakota background, we say Tatanga or Pate. Pate is a female buffalo. My Blackfoot friends will say Ini, and my husband is Soto, and he says Mashkate Bajiki. So I grew up in the urban cities of Regina and Saskatoon, and I didn't really feel connected to the land, and it's really been this last, I'd say 20 years that I've been searching for my identity as a Nakota Cree Soto person and what that means. And it's led me to this path of working with the buffalo. So my husband and I, we created a nonprofit called Buffalo People Arts Institute, and our mission is to bring back the buffalo mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally through traditional Indigenous arts, including working with buffalo hides. So the buffalo hide that's right beside me, my husband and one of our buffalo partners, Terry Mosquito, worked on this hide, and it's being used here in the Buffalo Room at the Royal Sask Museum. And so what does it mean bringing back the buffalo, and why do we have to bring back the buffalo? So what I've been told is the buffalo were everything. We used their hides for our shelters to make teepees. We would eat the buffalo meat, and what we couldn't eat, we needed to save. We would make buffalo pemmican, which is dried buffalo meat, like a jerky, ground up so that it became flaky, and mixing it with maybe some dried Saskatoon berries or any kind of berries that were dried, and then maybe a little bit of buffalo fat, and we mix those all together. We would clean the stomach of a buffalo, sew it up, and make like a Ziploc bag out of that buffalo stomach. And then we could store the buffalo pemmican in there for as long as up to maybe 2 years if we needed to, if we didn't eat it during that timeline. But that's what we would use in the winter times when we couldn't hunt, or maybe there was a blizzard out. And so we needed the buffalo to survive. We would make some of our moccasins out of buffalo leather. We would use the rawhide to make our satchels or our suitcases, our drums, our shields. We would use the sinew of the buffalo to make for our sewing, for even to braid into making ropes. The delicacy of the tongue. I haven't had buffalo tongue yet. I haven't been brave enough to, but we could use the tongue. They say it's the most delicate meat. We would use the hearts in our ceremonies, and still to this day we use buffalo hearts when we can get them, and we would put them in the hole in the Sundance tree before the tree was put in the hole. And we would break our fast after sundancing and not eating for 4 days or 4 nights. We would have that buffalo heart broth soup. That's how we would break our fast. And so even though the buffalo might not be in the millions like they used to be, and my one friend from Alberta said there were 125 million buffalo in this continent of North America. I believe that. I know I've heard numbers like 30, 60 million, but 125 million sounds more right to me, because if you Google the cattle industry of North America, right now there's 90 million cattle in North America, and that's less than a 500-year period. So we've lived with the buffalo for thousands and thousands and thousands. We've lived with them for so long that there had to have been that many, because you need about 13 buffalo hides to make one teepee. And so we would need to hunt as a community. We would need to come together as a community to be able to build a teepee. So to me, the buffalo represents family. It represents hard work ethic. It represents remembering our ancestors. It represents that we're matakioasin. We're dependent on each other in this world, that what I do affects you and others, and what others do affects me. So we're all related. And so maybe the buffalo won't be 125 million, but they're slowly finding their way back to us. And I think that right now there's about 500,000 buffalo in North America. And I really want people to remember that this land was built because of the buffalo. And so we need to reconnect with the buffalo, to reconnect to the land, and to know that in order to carry us into the future, we need to live sustainably, that we need to only take what we need, and remember that we have to prepare for the future, for our children, our grandchildren, for the 7 generations ahead. And so with, the buffalo were so important to us, that they survived with us for so many thousands of years, that even though they're not with us today, they're always going to be in our blood. They're going to be in our DNA. They're in our blood memory, and that resilient spirit will always reside within us. And so one of the best stories that I heard is that when a buffalo sees a storm approaching, whether it's a thunderstorm or a snowstorm, instead of turning away from it and running away, they'll put their head down and they'll face that storm, because the sooner you go through that storm, the sooner you come out on the end at the other side. And the other side, it's sunny, it's blue sky, there's a rainbow, and life is so much better. So they remind us that we need to go through some of these difficult times to come out on the other end, and that it'll end up being a good thing for us. And they'll remind us how resilient we are, and that we are able to survive no matter what, and then thrive. So, Panama, I thank you for listening, and hope you have a good day.